Hi, welcome to Becky's Garden Paradise. So I wanted to share a great tip that will help increase the success of your seed germination rates. So if you are planting beans, field peas, or southern peas like black-eyed peas type peas, probably even sweet peas, I would imagine. But beans, southern peas, okra, corn, a little step will help ensure your success in this growing season. So what I suggest to you is that when you go to plant your seeds, soak the seeds that you're going to plant in a cup of water. If you need to, calculate how many seeds you're going to need, count the holes or the planting space, and how many seeds you're going to put per hole, and soak them in water. So if you're going to plant them in the morning, you could soak them in water overnight, or if you're going to plant them later in the day, I would soak them for at least a couple of hours before you put them in the ground, and you'll be surprised at how much quicker your seeds germinate and how many more of them germinate. So I'm going to show you some of the seeds that I've got started so far versus some seeds that I had planted without pre-soaking them, and you can see the difference. So join me as I show you. Alright, so here we are in my big garden, and I have 3 rows here. The first row along the fence are Blue Lake green beans, and then the middle row is Gold Rush, which is a yellow green bean. And then in this row, this is okra in the first half of the row that I soaked prior to planting. And in the second half of the row, I have purple hull peas. So I had nearly 100% germination on the okra, and the purple hull peas are still in the process of germinating, but so far I have a lot better germination than I did. If you look closer at the Gold Rush, you can see how there are a lot of empty holes that haven't germinated yet. I've still been watering them pretty good to try to help get them to come up, but in the next couple days I'm probably going to go ahead and replant those with some soaked seeds as well. Okay, so you can see all the missing holes versus over here, not so many, but they're still popping up. Okay, and then I'll take you over to the 4 rows I have over here. 3 rows of corn that I planted without soaking, and you can see I have 2 corn seeds that germinated, so those are going to get replanted today. And then in this first double row here, I planted striped green beans, and all of these were new seeds. And you can see the striped green beans have struggled the most. I only have 2 out of this double row, so I'm also going to go ahead and replant these today with some soaked seeds. Okay, so I just wanted to show you, these are my 2 cups, the corn and the striped green beans that I have. And they've been in this water for a couple of hours while I was doing some other stuff. But these are what I'm going to replant with. right, so I got those rows replanted, and I hope you give it a try. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be pleased with the results, especially if you're growing in a hot, dry climate. Like I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and this week we're supposed to hit 90 every day, and the chances of precipitation are only in the single digits. So, you know, pre-soaking your seeds along with, you know, making sure that you're watering them while you're waiting on them to germinate will give you a better chance of having a successful garden this year. So thank you again for joining me. If you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. Say hey in the comments so that I can properly welcome you to my channel. So, have a good day. Thank you.